Yeah. I mean, all they have is the... Alright, cool. So, this is us playing Perfect Dark. I grew up playing Perfect Dark.
Oh, Eddie?
Oh, yeah.
I know nothing about this game other than...
so much as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
Good.
I didn't
know...
play GoldenEye much, though, so if you play GoldenEye, you're probably on even footing with me.
Yeah, I played a lot of GoldenEye. I played, like, the amount of GoldenEye that you play when you don't own GoldenEye, but everyone else did, you know? Should we have the lamp in shot? I don't think we should.
What?
The lamp? Wouldn't it be better if it was, like, over here?
Yeah, probably.
Go and move it? Or not?
Sure.
Okay.
We can get some stuff set up. So,
right.
Immediately you're just...
Wow, this is very much...
Oh, yes.
GoldenEye.
It's extremely GoldenEye. It really tried to, like
the UI is, like...
Exactly. Like
even the same. Like, the font, I'm pretty sure, is actually identical.
Alright, I'll move the lamp and...
Dark.
Shut the door.
Dark. That summed up my aesthetic as a kid, like a middle schooler.
Just dark.
Yeah, my first. Ooh, here's a good one. My most embarrassing screen name, or one of them anyway, was my first ever like thing that I put on the forums, like gaming forums, was. Will you share your worst one if I?
I mean, I'll share my only one. I only have one, but sure.
Was it not Muxl?
No, it wasn't Muxl. No, Muxl was created for streaming.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
No, it was. My birthday is November 11th, so my numbers tag was always 1111. But it was Dark Ninja. 111111.
Can that please be our name?
No. All right, Dark Ninja 1111.
Yep.
All right, yeah, we'll do it. I had a worse one for one of my first AIMs. That Alex where I'm from, but it was really cringy. What was yours?
Mine was and I claimed this before this was not a thing on WoW, okay? I came up with this. They stole my screen name for World of Warcraft.
Oh no.
It was Raptor Strike 770.
Raptor Strike, that's pretty good.
Yes, that was my cool screen name.
What's 770?
Yep. That is no longer in use anywhere, I don't think.
What? No, what is that though?
It was. What do you mean? What is it?
770.
It's nothing. It's just 3 random numbers.
Oh my god. Nice.
Yep.
So we only have enough for 1-1.
Ah, that's fine.
And then it makes it look like Dark Ninja. So I'm just gonna do Dark Ninja.
Ship it. Oh, okay, fine.
Ship it. Game pack.
Yeah, just game pack's fine. We have packs everywhere.
I don't even know what that.
Just hit grab. Just hit.
Yes.
We have room.
All right.
So. All right. Cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So what do we want to do? You want to
co-op? I mean,
you're driving here, so
co-op. Is there co-op? Like
cooperative is like for the campaign.
Want to do that?
Sure. Let me check it out. Combat Simulator is what I grew up playing. That's just like the versus mode.
Okay.
But let's do some co-op. I've like never done any co-op.
Deadine Central Defection. We are agents, I believe. We definitely want radar. I never know for friendly fire. On, does that mean that we can shoot each other?
Yeah, I think yes.
Simulant. God, dude, this game would have like blown me away when I was like, yeah, dude, like
it was totally
simulant. I would have been like, oh, good, it's so cool. It's on the computer. It's different. It's like within the game. Except.
I don't know.
Here's the thing: is this a thing anymore in current games where like the UI is like pretending to be like part of the world that you're in?
I don't
know, like where like
it is. Yeah, it is in some games.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's just more advanced. Like wow. Okay, definitely gonna. Can we?
Let's take a second to do the controls.
Yeah.
Well, so the left analog stick is going to move you forward and rotate your camera.
That is...
Sorry, this is before Halo, so the controls are terrible.
Oh my god, it's reversed too.
It should...
Or the up and down axis.
You're using the C stick, but yeah, the C stick is reversed.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, the left stick is the normal joystick, the right stick is the C stick.
That is remarkable.
Yeah, it's kind of painful.
It is really incredible what Halo did to games. Like...
Well, yeah, and just having 2 joysticks. I mean, obviously the PlayStation already, the analog,
yeah, because this was the
DualShock analog ones did have 2 joysticks, but they had N64. They didn't really have a choice.
I don't have
I have no idea where to go at this point. I've never played this campaign.
Circle. Oh wow, we have a lot of guns.
Oh, we do.
Seems like I cycled through a bunch.
All I have is the silencer, Falcon. Oh, we gotta go down like this little railing over here.
Alright, so it looks like L2 is gonna be your fire button.
Yep. Yep, L2's fire. L1 is going to aim for you. So L2 and the N64 controller would have been the
Z.
Yeah, the Z. So you gotta go down this little ramp.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Oh. Oh, so you got like a little bit of a lock-on with the reticle, which I'm noticing already.
That's good.
Like it kind of snaps to the person you're shooting, which is fantastic because
otherwise
we would be so screwed.
All right, is there an action button like an X probably?
Fudge. No, it's not A. Is it B? It's B, which is
3.
1 on your
3 on your. Oh,
It's 1.
wait. What?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
also reload, I think.
Oh, that's right. You're
What did
toast. You just walked right by that guy.
Sure did.
That saved your life.
I'm playing full stealth. That's another interesting thing. Like is there a vault? Can we get over stuff here?
Can we jump? I do believe there is a jump. Have you figured out how to jump yet?
D-pad.
Isn't it a jump?
D-pad will control. That's interesting. Oh, D-pad's just left stick. No, it's not.
Is there like a switch we have to hit? Am I missing something?
That's nice. We hold down X. Are you okay? What?
Oh, we gotta go over here and go down the ramp.
Yeah, I see. What parlance should we use?
What?
What controller do you want to use for talking about buttons? I use PlayStation naturally. This is PlayStation.
Oh, I mean, we can just use the numbers on there unless, like the letter, they're numbered. So. Oh, I was checking. But yeah, we can use PlayStation.
All right, so X. X. So you hold down X and you can select different guns.
Oh, nice.
It appears.
Ooh, I don't know what's down there. Is
That's
this like
okay.
a pit of some sort?
It's a pit. You know the pit that every
It's very hard to
building
look
has?
down. That's like one thing I'm noticing. For like this level design, given
Yeah.
this control scheme and how hard it is to look down,
Yeah.
having a lot of stairwells is kind of annoying.
That's a really good point. That verticality is really, really difficult to build into a game like this.
Yeah, that's why Oddjob
But
is
then-
so overpowered.
Yeah, but then at the same time, a horizontal shooter isn't too fun. You know, like that's just 2 dimensions.
Yeah, it pretty much
Right?
is.
Remember when we talked about like the 3D, the 3D shooters are basically depending without verticality and depth.
You don't have any cover mechanics,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
because you can't... The only thing you can do is duck left or right from a wall, which isn't super interesting.
And is there even a crouch? I don't think we even have a crouch. Or any movement ability.
I thought that there was a crouch. I have not figured out what it is yet.
Not on this controller so far.
Well, you know, the N64 didn't have very many buttons, so if you're not finding a crouch, it probably wasn't one.
Yeah. Alright, so again, and verticality is also interesting in terms of no jumping, no...
Oh, here we go.
I see. Where are you? That is exactly what I want to know, actually. Oh, there you go.
Oh, I shot the
frick.
wrong girl.
We shot... Well,
Dang
that was not immediately clear. Yeah, I got a necklace at least. I think we can see it on playing.
I don't understand. If we failed the objective, why are we still going?
Do we have multiple objectives? Gain entrance to the laboratory. Failed. Okay.
I won't kill you. What do I do?
Can we kill her? Well, it said...
We absolutely can kill her.
Yeah, I'm getting that sense. It says gain access to the laboratory. Which obviously already messed up. Abort mission. Alright!
Do it. Okay.
Crazy.
Wait, so it doesn't abort it for us, and we have to like wait and abort
I
it?
think we have to press abort.
Alright, well I'm gonna kill this woman if we're gonna do that.
Do it. Yep.
Alright, that's it. Alright, abort.
GG. Ah, dude, I love After Action. Even just like the 90s soundtrack. I don't know. You had 6 kills. I'm disavowed. What? Oh, because I aborted. What? Well, you aborted too. Mission time.
Wow. No, I think
Why
that
did
was
I get
me.
disavowed?
Maybe I was disavowed because I shot somebody? I don't know.
I think I just sucked. No, you definitely... 12 total shots and what? No, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just was worse. I was just a bad enough agent that it disavowed me. Alright, let's do this.
Alright, let's do it.
So did you, how did we feel it? Did you just
I think
shoot
I
someone
just
we-
shouldn't have shot either of those women.
Oh, there were two.
And I shot one of them.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm a good guy who hits women with his car. So, Michael Scott. Should we watch the intro? Nah.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so you
probably
can press
should've.
start,
It was
and then you can
better
press
sense of the game.
over, and that'll give you your inventory, by the way.
Oh shoot, I'm about to...
Press
Oh,
start
Splinter
again.
Cell all up on this.
Background.
What's up?
Wait a second. Oh, look at this. We have a Data Dune scientist calling himself Dr. Carroll has contacted the Carrington Institute requesting that we rescue him from the Data Dine? Really? headquarters tonight. He claims that he's complained to Dedadine about moral implications of his current project, but rather than dismiss him, they will mentally restructure him until he finds nature of the project acceptable. Sick. All right, let's do it.
Mentally restructure.
Well, it's mentally wait, we're not. We don't want to mentally restructure. That seems bad.
Yeah, well, you're mentally restructured.
I'll mentally restructure you. Okay, so it's not clear entirely how to. Yep, do one.
Yeah, this is like the speedy weapon select.
It's the what?
The speedy weapon select.
Yeah.
If you hold X.
Yeah, but it won't actually select something if you go to it.
What do you mean?
You have to try to select that.
I did it. I did it again.
All right. Well, I have nothing to say to you apparently.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? You're like right there. Oh gosh.
So this was deemed a masterpiece, right? This is considered one of the greatest games of all time.
Oh yeah, yeah. This list is
I feel like something for this series, if we're gonna keep on doing a, masterpiece games, we really need. It'll be interesting, one, to build a timeline of video games as a whole, basically, in our minds. But two, it really forces.
Oh yeah, this door.
Yeah, really forces a level of. Or at least a discussion about. Got it. Discussion about context, which. Oh, heck no. Goodbye. Okay, so not shooting women. Except for that way.
I think I rolled. Oh my gosh.
Oh, did he? Oh, interesting. That's new.
Okay, so this is the double doors where the women are.
Okay, so should we just go in? Where are you?
What are you doing here?
We want access to
so
the lab. Yeah, definitely
does have
have
a gun.
multiple guns. I have so many guns on me right now.
We are Agent Dark Ninja, you don't.
Shoot me, foolish child.
I will definitely shoot
I
you.
mean.
Who I am.
Do I need to go unarmed on you? Because I will punch
Oh,
you.
no, don't punch her. Don't punch Mark.
She died?
Is she dead? Dude, unarmed in a Nintendo 64 game means
That's insane.
bullets on your fists.
Okay, but it doesn't say we failed the mission.
Oh, we didn't fail yet. Oh, alright.
So how do we... We have the
Well, we
necklace.
got our necklace, so that's nice.
What do I do with the necklace?
This is an interesting level of... I wonder, so would this be... Is this the first mission in single player?
Oh yeah, this is definitely the first
So
one.
there's no tutorial, there's no
There's
direction,
nothing.
there's
You're
no
going right into it,
objectives.
which I kind of appreciate.
Background, objective 1,
it's
secure
also
secret lift.
music,
Locate,
kind of
secure
flower.
lift, the basement laboratory where Carol is incarcerated. This is your first mission, Joanna. And incredibly more vital, yada yada yada. Code keys will only work if the owners are alive. Do not kill unarmed civilians. Our standard rules, yeah, okay. So, we gotta find a secret basement.
Did it say objective failed? No.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Really,
I think you're kind of
really
right.
positive thinking here. Okay, the exact location should be found somewhere on the foyer level. Alright, so let's find the
I
secret
think this
lift.
was the executive.
Also, I love that we are fine killing people who are armed, but unarmed people, we're just like, they should be. Is this the foyer? What defines a foyer, technically?
What even is a foyer?
I
think that's
don't
where
know,
we
man.
came in.
It just feels like an entryway, right?
Is this where we came in?
Can I shoot the computer? I'm gonna hit the computer.
Oh, this guy.
I'm not gonna hit it, I'm gonna...
No problem. I'll just be infiltrating this base.
This is very interesting. Strafing, obviously, isn't a thing.
Oh, it is. Use a C-stick on the side. You can strafe.
Oh my... Dude, that is so stupid. Like, it's so counterintuitive for someone that's played Halo. But the way that the C-sticks interact with the main... Like, trying to play it, you know, with both fingers, basically. I'm just using the left stick.
Man, after seeing how lethal the unarmed strikes were, I just want to go unarmed. Let's just melee this thing.
Maybe she's not...
I'm in the basement. I've traveled quite a ways from you at this point.
I was trying to interact with things. But yeah, trying to use both sticks together is a complete fool errand.
Oh yeah, trying to use both
It's
sticks
so
together.
fascinating. Why would they? It seems so intuitive to combine, to have one be look, like to have the left and right be look, but forward and back be move on one stick, and on the other stick, left and right is move, and up and down, forward and back is look.
Well, you gotta remember that they didn't have two sticks.
That's so. Well, we had a C stick.
No, it wasn't a stick. It was buttons.
Oh, the C. Yeah, that's
there
true.
were like.
That's
It
true.
was like a
that's true.
second D-pad because that's what everybody wanted.
Yeah, I guess. Where the frick are you?
I'm in the basement. You gotta use like the door
How
to
do I-
the right and like.
Which way?
Yeah, that way to the right.
That's left.
Okay, that one.
This one?
Yep.
Yeah, the doors are really clearly marked
Then
too.
go down.
Also, yeah, let's talk about just like queuing for video game space. You know,
Queuing.
how far that's come. Yeah, just in terms of environmental design, showing
Hey,
you
what's
where you
up?
should
It's
go.
me. Don't shoot.
Which, some people would argue has gone too far, you know? Like,
Okay, well, there's nothing on this level. So
some level of secret, you know, some level of not being clear where to go or just openness. Actually, I've been through.
Oh, it's a lift. I'm getting on this thing.
It's a secret lift. You've obviously already killed everyone in here, haven't you?
Yeah. How do I get on that lift, though? That's what I really want.
Did it move?
Forget your money. I want your baby.
What is that from?
That's from Austin Powers.
They've never seen it.
It's an old
Except for the
movie.
third one. Which, I understand was bad. Shoot computers.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the ammo bar being,
If you hit
a
B in
bar.
front of it, all it says is like you need a data uplink.
Really? Because it doesn't say jack for me.
Really?
Also, have you noticed the radar?
Oh yeah. It just
How
shows
relative it's...
I can push this desk. Dang, this is some next level stuff actually. This is like some source engine stuff.
Was it?
Come on, I'm pushing this desk.
Can I push this chair? Oh yeah, look at that. That's interactable.
Okay, I
don't
just
think that
destroyed
was
the
a thing.
terminal. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
I
thing.
mean, it's not a great thing, I don't think. There's also like even just like doors being identical to each other, right? Like there's like they have like 4 environmental objects that they've copied and pasted over and over and over.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's not a diverse set of environment.
Right, but visually, oh my god, it just feels so.
Okay, I'm getting on this lift. I think the door's gonna open. Yes.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Get on the lift.
Hello. It's really good
That
timing.
was it's not that clear.
Alright, so what did you do to? Oh, there's another lift over
I
here
just
though.
used the action by the door.
I'm a brunette. You're a
Okay,
blonde.
when the
so-
door opens,
Oh,
we're probably gonna get
there's a
attacked.
guy over here. Alright, so I've not seen any stealth-based anything yet.
I
Or
don't
not
think- I don't
stealth,
think it's a
any
very
health-based,
stealthy game.
sorry. Wow, it's really like self-aiming, man. Like you kind of point towards it, and then you press
It
one
just
button,
snaps to it.
and that is fun. Oh, hey. Alright.
Self-aiming guns are tight.
Yes! Have you been watching
I
those?
have watched
Yes.
so many of those.
I've watched all of them now, actually.
Have you really? I'm just going through them. I'm hoping they never end.
There's 84. Oh god, there's a different enemy there. Okay, so there's a health bar.
Yeah, there definitely is a health bar.
My favorite is the whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
Isn't that gonna degrade World War I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure that anything matters. Wow, what a dark worldview.
Yeah, they did Whoopsie a lot for Big Bang Theory though.
Oh, did they?
Oh, it's so much.
I guess I haven't watched them. Oh, the let's see. The which one was it?
Oh,
think it
here
was-
we go.
It's either Dark Knight or Logan. Like, I got a superhero script for it. I was like, oh, superhero, that'll be fun. No. No, not even one of them.
I'm gonna destroy all these terminals.
Is that done anything for you yet?
Nah, it hasn't done anything. I have no reason to believe that it's getting me closer to my objective.
Rapid fire. Well, let's go farther down, shall we?
Well, let's do
Because
it.
that lift went down. Do we
yeah.
have any control over the lifts?
Yeah, we do. We just hit B in front of the door. And it makes a little fun little chiming noise. And
Square?
Yeah.
Well, there's another lift over here, by the way.
Okay. Use that one too.
I'm gonna go down this one. You go down this one.
I'm sure they go to the same
Let's
one.
split up.
Now, why?
Because there's 2 of us. And we're even different models. That's nice.
It's not just a copy and pasted asset between the.
Wow. Alright, is there any way to...
Oh, well, I
It's
mean,
like,
I've
like
been
people
getting
would say this
ambushed
is super
now.
clunky, right? Like the fact that there's no prompting whatsoever on how these work, which button to press, why to press, like there's no like no queuing whatsoever by modern standards.
Oh, not at all.
And yet that was like this is a
Oh, this one went up.
paragon.
This
Oh, there's
arrow
one
left
up.
is-
Oh, I see. It's just one up, one down. Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of people down here.
I'm not surprised.
Whoopsie.
We're getting a little further into the enemy layer here.
Whoops. Well, it's just supposed to be like a company, though. Like, it's just supposed to be a data company, I guess, as far as I
It's always just a company, Greg. It was just a company in Resident
That's
Evil.
a good point. That's fair. But just like how many companies... I guess they just aren't really trying anymore. Like, they just have, like, armed ninjas. You know?
What the heck?
Did you fall out of a lift?
I'm in an infinitely falling elbow.
No, it just takes a long time, don't worry.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
seriously?
yeah, you just go past like 40 of them. Hey, what's up?
Dang.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought, Wow, that was weird.
Also, you came down a different lift than I did, so I think they both go all the way up and all the way down.
That's super weird.
Which is stupid, because you'd think...
I would not think that.
I already got killed like a bunch of guys.
Alright, well, let's keep... Oh, what can we go?
Is this a... Can we go down here? No, that's just a light.
I never played the campaign in Perfect Dark. Like, this is all completely new to me.
Well, and is the game renowned for playing the campaign?
No, I'm sure it's renowned for the multiplayer. That's
Was it? Okay, well, should we play that then?
Yeah, we will. I mean, I just want to get a feel for, like, the campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
Where this
I mean, similar to GoldenEye, right? I don't remember ever playing through GoldenEye. I mean, even... I don't even know if my friends played through it when they had it. Huh.
There has to be something
this is dark.
significant down here. Oh, is it?
Oh, sorry.
Ow, you
Hey,
shot me.
hey. You got a really nice square around your head when that happened. Oh, the basement elevator must be around here, there somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, here it is. Secret door. Found it.
Dang.
Sorry. That was graphic. You know this is rated? This is M?
Yep.
Wow. Is there a bit of blood? Oh, yeah.
I think it's him.
Okay. Is there blood?
Oh,
yes.
dude! That objective, though.
I'm assuming that when we picked up that necklace from that woman, that's what allowed us to get in here. Right?
It's very unclear what the necklace did.
That being said,
Or why that made us...
why we had to not kill... I guess just killing people is bad, and that's why it doesn't... That's very constructionist of me. I'm like, well, if we could have killed them and it still would have worked.
Then obviously it's okay.
People. This was the 90s when killing people was bad, folks. Holograph radioactive isotope. Oh, next mission, of course. Alright, one more and then we'll
Alright,
shooting each other. Like, what depth of gameplay is there in this, though? And again, that sounds super conceited, but like...
Oh, let's watch the video.
Oh, yeah. These graphics are probably pretty darn impressive. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't just look like a pixel.
Yeah.
What even was that?
Fist. A sexy lady. Mark.
Think about the, think about
Only
like...
one of these is working, I think.
What's that?
Only one of the earbuds?
No.
Yeah, I'm not
They
gonna...
might just be bad earbuds. We can try a different port.
Yeah, it's just the buds. That's fine.
Alright, we're going...
Alright, now we have an unsilenced gun.
That means we're just coming in loud.
Oh, wow, that's rough. A guy just screamed as I killed him, I don't want to die.
Yeah, and you said too bad.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I already shot him.
Too bad. You want some coffee, buddy? Too bad.
Can you teabag people on this? Probably not, since we didn't find a crowd.
So I do notice the snapping downward is like really responsive, and I bet that was to correct for Odd Job.
Well, I don't think this game had Odd Job.
No, it didn't, but I bet there was just a lesson learned from GoldenEye. Like,
that things lower than you
are really a pain to aim
Sector
at.
2! Oh, sorry.
Oh, come on.
Oh, now there's someone here.
I think he's
I think
dead.
we got him.
60% chance he's already dead.
Don't know if I can take a fifth bullet. Fourth or fifth.
Fifth fourth.
That is one. I love that we just did away with the silencers, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
No.
so what was this game so renowned for? You know?
I think probably it's the multiplayer. I mean,
I'm gonna
this
do
is a
more
really good
research
fourth
before
player.
we actually play the game.
To see what it was known for.
Yeah, why it was so great.
Yeah.
Because it is not inherent to me why it was. Yet. Well, probably. Ever. Can I interact with this? Yeah, this is literally just GoldenEye, isn't it? Also
Which is
interesting.
funny because GoldenEye did not make the list of games.
Really?
Yeah, it's not on there.
Interesting. This obviously came after GoldenEye, right?
Yeah. I think this obviously built on GoldenEye a ton.
Well, it's just, is it like the same dev? Like the art, I mean, the art style, I don't know if this is just N64. I know it's not. It's the exact same font, even like ammo like picks up in the same spot, I swear.
I do think it's it's more polished, like the snapping for the aiming.
Yeah, I can see that. It definitely feels
some quality of
a
life.
little bit
stuff
more
definitely
receptive. Not receptive, responsive, rather.
And the types of guns that you can get are really interesting.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen much yet.
Oh, we have a data uplink tool.
Ooh, what does that do?
I don't know.
I bet it's this thing.
Is it this one? Oh, yeah. I do remember the laser watch from GoldenEye. Remember you could get that?
The laser watch, yeah,
Yeah.
you could stun people.
Need to find something to use the data implant. It does really put into perspective how coddled we are by modern games, man. Like,
Oh.
it didn't even tell me that I got a data up. Like, I didn't know that was a thing until I opened up my menu here. You know?
Yeah. So if you hold B, you
I can launch a spy cam?
So pull out a weapon and hold B, and you'll switch the mode for your weapon.
Nice. Pistol whip. Single shot.
So all
Which
your
is
weapons
probably
have
it.
multiple modes. So like this, the
Follow lock
CMP
on
150 has a lock on, which is pretty crazy.
versus rapid fire. Tapping square will reload too.
Yeah.
You can also launch a spy cam at some point. We can't get. Oh, yes, we can. Look at that. Here I am.
It's unclear what follow lock on does. I guess you have to go into aiming mode to lock onto them, and then let go of aiming mode, and you'll automatically trigger like target them.
That seems a lot harder than just shooting them.
Yeah, it actually is. I just
Also,
tried.
I'm a spy cam, which is probably why.
You're a spy cam?
Sure am, Mark.
Okay.
Sure am.
Well, can you do anything about these Also, I can't see you.
I'll probably come over there and.
Do anything about these laser walls? This is giving me flashbacks to Resident Evil, the original, where the guy gets cubed by lasers.
The cubing, as it were. I'm guessing this is where we use our spy cam.
I have no idea what to do here. Oh.
Can you?
Oh, cool. The lasers come down for this little Roomba that has to come through and clean the floors.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's nice. Makes sense.
They don't want to fry the Roomba.
Can I spy cam it? Nope. Spy cam's not happy about that. Right. Looks like I can take pictures, so that's fun. And not a whole lot else. So I just have to wait.
Then you just have to wait. I don't know if there's anything you can trigger here. I'm just hanging out until.
Oh, I picked up my cam, so that's good. Yeah, here's Roomba. Is it coming? Yep, off. Alright, wow, so yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait.
Every time.
That's too bad. What else have I got? I got just the CPI 50.
Yeah, but hold B. That's the one that gives you the follow lock on.
Yeah, I know. I already. Oh, can you have alternate unarmed?
Yeah,
disarm.
Disarm.
Oh,
Trying to knock
fun.
people's weapons away.
That's cool.
Doesn't do any damage though.
That's the highest security sector.
That's the highest security sector. There is no higher security.
I'm sorry.
sector.
Who's talking right now? And you are. Wow, what a simple little dynamic. Fascinating. Like the mouse droid from Star Wars.
But you sort of just have to wait for it, which I don't think is great. I already been through there.
Streaming is fascinating because we're kind of just like we haven't said anything of substance yet. Not too much. Like you have to concentrate instead of just playing a game, you know.
That's true.
Like it's actually a skill. We have to be interesting instead of just watching people play a game. Ah! Hey. You're so much more colorful than the bad guy. Oh my god. Yeah, I think he's dead. Was he not dead? Was he not dead?
It wasn't.
Oh, there's
dead.
another guy. Security code.
Oh gosh.
Heck yeah, man.
Was he still not dead? That's amazing.
You know what time it is? Time to I think he's literally not on my screen. Alright, we're gonna use data uplink.
Do it.
Connection established. Nice. Searching for password.
Okay, I just have to.
This would feel like so. Yeah, it's just fascinating. This would like pulling out this. This was so futuristic right now. Security doors unlocked.
Boom. Oh
Like,
my god.
there's no challenge there. Zero. Like nothing.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that like more guys
Oh
would come
shit!
in.
Do I have to?
I kind of thought more guys would come in as we were waiting.
Yeah. But isn't that's just so fascinating that would have felt so secret agenty and so cool. Like you pull out the like wireless data uplink.
Oh yeah, anything wireless
Yeah, it's true.
just felt like very futuristic.
This really does bring me back, man. Just like the 90s aesthetic for what cool was. Much less just.
Why? I want that gun. I
Is
want
there any
a
health? Like
dragon.
your health? Is there a way to get more?
You can get health packs, yeah.
Also, do you think it was an engine thing that made us not jump?
An engine thing?
Yeah, like an engine-based dragon. Is that what you got?
Yeah, dude, the dragons are so cool.
Look
But not so cool when they're shooting at you and you don't know where they're shooting from. Ow, I'm dead.
Self-destruct? What? Proximity self-destruct. I don't want that.
So what you do is you lay it on the ground and it becomes a mine. And then if anybody gets near it, it blows up.
It's
a good way to bait somebody with a good gun.
Yeah, that is very cool. So, you're dead.
Not for long.
Oh. I did. No, the engine, the game engine.
Yep, seems likely.
Being the reason that you wouldn't. Oh, what the? Oh, they're above me, aren't they? Yep. Oh wait, now it's a sentry gun. Okay, see, now I have to look up, and this is impossible. Yep, you're good.
That's also where I died.
It's because it requires you to look up.
Is that why?
Interesting, so try just using the right stick for that, just strafing and looking up instead of using the left stick like at all. That might just be really easy that way. You know? Yeah, actually probably not. It's inverted, so that's
I'm not sure.
What? Ow.
Pistol whipping.
I guess we hadn't been down there already. Oh, we've already been down there.
Where? The place that we haven't been? Where haven't we been?
I'll tell you when you hear it.
I have very little health, too. That's interesting. So you just start with... When you respawn, you just start with no health?
Well, I'm not sure how they decide how much health to give you, but yeah, it's not a lot. Literally.
This also just reminds me of the Red Alert soundtrack.
I wonder if we can just straight up fail these missions if we die and there's nothing.
Ah! A K7 Avenger. Heck yeah, I did. Remember that gun? Remember that K7 Avenger, Mark?
The K7? Yeah, actually, it's a pretty good gun.
1%, 3%. Oh, there's got to be a zoom function, huh?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, just with the... Yeah, God. Even just the sound effects are so... Really reminds me of Red Alert. The original Command & Conquer Red Alert. In terms of sonically, even with my one ear.
It's so fascinating how used to things you get when you don't know anything else. Like, to me, this was the most natural thing in the world when I was growing up.
Was it?
Like, yeah, run through a hallway with this sort of aiming scheme.
Yeah. So interesting. Just having those be mutually exclusive. I guess on one joystick, like, what would you do? This might be close to ideal for one joystick.
Yeah, I think that's why it was so popular, and why it's well regarded is because it is very good for what the limitations were hardware-wise. Like all the N64 had was a controller with one joystick, so you kind of had to make do with that, even if you thought two joysticks was a good idea.
I have a locked door over here.
Well, yeah, okay, that's right. I found you. Ever find any like health packs or anything?
No, not
I'm
yet.
tired of being on death's door here. Oh, we gotta go back through this thing again?
No.
This is back where we came.
I think so. Threat detector.
Ooh, that's nice.
Is
It's unclear how that's used.
I have yellow threat detection. You have red, it seems. Or is that health?
What? No, threat detector is one of the secondary modes for that gun.
Oh, I did. Yep, you're right. Burst fire eyes. I see. That's just a...
With threat detection is something that gun can do.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm feeling a little lost.
That's you. Sorry. Hey, we can
but
shoot
that's
this,
cool.
though. We can shoot the glass. That's fun. We have the...
Nice.
I've got night vision.
Alright.
Oh.
That might be helpful.
I mean, so far we've been strictly indoors, but yeah. I feel like there's got to be something in here.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Good thing they didn't get
Nice.
me at all because I have no health.
I just heard screams, so I assumed all was well. Where are you?
Get out, Joe! The levels are too high! Use the cam spy!
The levels.
The
levels are too
Was
high.
that Scotty? The levels are too high. Oh,
Okay.
okay, nothing left. Where the frick are you? Excuse me? Where the hell? Oh, it's a door. There's a door. Everything's a door.
Oh my
When
God.
everything's a door,
Nothing is
Nothing's a
actually,
door.
Everything's just a door.
yeah, at that point, everything's a door.
I got a proximity mine, just one.
Just, okay. Dude, those were I remember those were really good in GoldenEye. They're really important to have.
Yeah, I always just got baited and messed with by people who were really good with proximity mines.
Yep. Are there Is there a map in this game at all?
You mean like an overmap?
Yeah, like
I think you probably can find items that will show you the,
Oh,
like, the
yeah.
map. That's kind of how they did.
Whoa! I just changed the control scheme by accident.
You did?
I did. I pressed select basically, and it'll switch your switch which one does which. Oh, elevator, get in. I'm gonna switch to my. Oh no, my dragon. Here we go, Avenger. Yep, Yargo killing again. I really hope we're moving. It's kind of hard to tell in a game this old.
Maybe we hit the button.
Is this where we came?
It's very unclear because these levels are very similar.
I think this is it. This is where we. What is it though? Systems. Nope. Jeez.
Dang, you let that guy up.
I avenged. That's what I do. They also do this thing where the second that you enter a room, they talk. Oh my god! Did they just rocket launch us? It was a grenade.
I do not know.
Oh, there's no kill cam. We are both deceased. Choice, accuracy, kills.
Alright.
Alright, let's go
Let's,
to
let's switch to co-op.
Let's decline.
This is where the game really shines, in my opinion.
God, that smells good. Just do it for
I am eating french fries.
So why is it called Perfect Dark?
I am not sure. Oh, you have to hit.
Oh, dude, it's like a computer.
Yeah, this is like a.
Oh, so this is the main menu. Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect menu.
Yes.
Kerrigan Institute. Is that tutorial?
What's that?
Tutorial?
I think, yeah, that's probably the tutorial. Which usually that's immediately made optional.
Cheats. Cheat.
Yeah, so. Weapons. Go to weapons. Ooh, we don't have them.
Complete. Datadynes.
Yeah, so you have to like unlock the cheats.
Interesting. As opposed to,
So really they're not cheats, they're more like achievements, because before achievements became a common thing.
maybe. It's got, I mean, usually it's cinema. God, this music. Fun. Interesting.
We definitely can.
I wonder if there's no way to, there's gotta be, like, the classic, like, just enter a certain combination of buttons on a menu to, there's not? No.
I mean, there might be. I'd have to look that up. We probably can put things onto the emulator.
Changing.
By the way, let's just do co-op normal, and then we can add cheats later.
Is that cooperative or cooperative?
Cooperative.
Is that what we just
No,
did?
it's combat simulator.
Oh, combat, yeah, that's right. Oh!
Cool. So,
What we doing?
advanced setup. Alright, so you get to pick, yeah, combat's fine.
Combat.
Option. Get involved with this too.
Fast movement. No radar.
What kind of weapons do we want to have?
I have no idea, man.
Let's do.
Well, rocket launcher seems pretty.
Random 5, Dragon, Time Mine, Rocket Launcher, Falcon 2, Combat Knife.
All right,
That's good.
great.
Um,
How about Skidar for the arena? I was really thinking Skidar.
I think Area 52 was like one of my favorites. That's
No auto aim or auto aim?
I would say auto aim.
Auto aim. We'll have radar on. Displaying team. Where I like it.
Do you want to have like simulants?
I don't know what those are.
They're just like.
Oh yeah,
CPUs.
like yeah. Sure.
Let's have a.
Did I say meat?
It's really fun to play with a bunch of people like this. So
Yeah.
this is like one of the things that
Back in the
this
day.
game probably has over GoldenEye is like you can. We're gonna play with 6 people right now.
Yeah.
Which is like unheard of.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal, right?
Prey sim is fun. You have to.
Oh, and you can also set up. You can load and save settings.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that in GoldenEye. That's a big deal.
So you can like get these things set up really quick.
Teams. What teams? Are you just doing all the teams and stuff?
Kazasim.
I'm guessing it's supposed to be Kazi-Sim.
This simulant will
Okay.
stop at nothing to destroy its target. Nice. So we got a normal, we got a Kaze, we got Avenge, Prey. It'll be fun. Good stuff. Hit start.
Is it gonna work for both of us?
Yeah.
Because I have the ability to edit different. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, we both do.
It's strange. Oh, I have cooler. you have cooler hair.
Dude,
actually.
this brings me back. We played Area 52.
Oh, frick, there's nothing around.
And I know this level pretty well, and I'm dead. I'm already dead.
I know this level.
And I'm dead.
Pretty well. Really?
Just the weapons that we have right now are
What?
pretty good.
I think there's a rocket one. Dude, this is very straight GoldenEye to me. It just feels like GoldenEye.
Oh my gosh, take him with the time to mine. I got him. I got the prey sim.
You got
This
the
may have been pretty intense weapon set for our very
I
first.
just blew up. I didn't move and I just exploded.
Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you exploded.
Killed by normal sim.
Oh, I got a rocket launcher.
Killed by normie. Come here. Dare someone.
Yeah, I think we'll do more of the analysis after we like.
Devil
finish
dare
playing.
you.
Oh, that's you, isn't it? Ah.
Interesting. Maybe the sound would help. Are there audio cues when people are getting closer?
No, not really.
Oh,
Everybody's
okay.
pretty sad. You might hear a door open or something.
Is that
but
a
everything-
rocket launcher you have, or is it like a rail gun?
It's not a railgun. There is a railgun in this game.
Oh, good.
That's not it.
Just want to make sure. Come here, you son. Okay, he punched me to death, I think. Pretty sure he punched.
Punch you to death.
I'm pretty sure, because he took a really long time and I heard no gunshots.
So strafing is like really big in these games. Like
As in if you learn how to strafe?
yeah, it's just you move a lot faster when you can strafe.
Really?
Yeah, you can strafe well.
So this is an interesting problem, which is I can't find a gun. It's making it very unfun.
Yeah, there's a little bit of tearing from the top of the level, unfortunately.
There we go. Alright, you got a gun.
Oh my gosh, I'm facing off a guy with a rocket launcher with a pistol.
Gert has got a gun.
That was fun. Oh, I got a double falcon.
Oh yeah, there's a radar. Good lord. Sup? Sup? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of tearing over there. I could see how this would be like.
So this
A
center
big
area
deal.
is like really important.
Ow! Frick.
If you can get up in this, oh no.
What's really important?
So there's a center area with like 4 towers in
Okay.
it, and if you can get in one of those towers, you can have a pretty good vantage point.
Oh, Prey is literally just an unarmed dude who won't pick up guns.
Oh,
Ah,
launcher pacifist. He'll pick them up.
What's Prey do?
Prey just goes after the person with the lowest health, I believe.
So the rocket launcher was very interesting. I got killed by Verge. This also comes back to like early, or just makes me think of Halo in terms of having to find guns on the ground as opposed to loading in with a loadout.
Yeah.
It's a very Call of Duty modern era thing. Hey, I got some mines. That's nice.
Which I would say, that does, it's a positive feedback loop for people who are doing well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, you get a good weapon and then you can just keep it.
Yeah.
Because you keep killing people who are unarmed or have a pistol. Also, knowing levels becomes incredibly important. Because if you know levels, you can know what weapons.
I mean, that's been something that's been around since the beginning of time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just knowing the maps on a shooter is what makes the difference. I don't know where. Oh, I picked the rocket launcher. That's very fun. I don't know how much fun it does. Does it give pity to having a lot of deaths?
I don't think so.
No.
Doesn't seem
Or is it just all random? Because I just
necessarily-
literally spawned on top of a rocket launcher, and that feels a little bit too good. Too good. Oh, blew myself up. Classic.
I think maybe next round we won't have rocket launchers.
I don't know, man. That was pretty fun. Oh wait, no, I died. I was killed by prey. Someone shoot me. It's proximity, man. Okay, so the center area is weird.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It's like one of the cool areas to be.
How do you get? Oh, there's a bridge. Also, just.
Oh,
was that you?
come on. No, I tried to kill you, but I blew up instead.
Oh, I think you got me.
Really?
I mean, I'm
Did you have no health? Oh, nice.
interesting. So what was the? What was even the?
I was
weapon of choice?
beginner. You were most deadly? Wait, go back. You were most deadly.
So soon.
That's pretty cool.
Where does it even say that?
At the bottom, the award.
Oh yeah, shortest life. What'd you get?
I had a
Ammo,
double
double
kill and who needs ammo?
What's most deadly to me?
I got 5th place. What did you get?
Third.
You got
didn't
third?
press over.
Dude,
I'll
way
show
to
you the
go.
scores. What did you get? You got 8. You were 8 and 2. Why was I more deadly? Because I got 9?
9 and 6. Wow, you got
Kazio.
6. I thought you couldn't find a gun.
Top notch. I found like 2 guns and I went into a couple
Nice.
sprees. No suicides. All right.
I had some
Bunch
suicides.
of deaths. Normal sim got me the most. You only got me once. This is like the Zap Zone scorecard. Look at this.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I got you twice. Actually, no. That's where are you? There you are. Oh, yep, didn't get you. You got me once. And beginner 21. So how did why did the game end? Was it timed? Or is it a kill limit? Or
That's a good question.
you have any idea?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. Well, let's try again without.
I wonder where my phone is.
I do remember just getting. Oh, and it felt so cool. Like I remember being in awe of my friends who knew GoldenEye really well and were just playing it like this, basically.
Completely killed you.
Yeah, and could run the whole like friend group. You know, and they
Yeah.
like know where there's a ray gun, or like a laser gun in GoldenEye. I remember that was a really cool if people could find it. And there are a bunch of cheats or hacks. Big head mode I remember was a big deal.
Do you want to have teams? Or you want to just?
I'm fine doing. I don't know. We can spend doing what we're doing.
All right. Let's do pipes. So we got new 5 random weapons.
Can we turn up in the headphones at all?
Yep, absolutely.
For me, anyway. Not much. There we go. Perfect. Let's do it. But I remember, yeah, this is very nostalgic in terms of it. This was it's a time I can remember. You know, it's not just like looking at an old game and it feels old.
Oh my
it's like,
gosh.
what changes did you make?
And immediately the firefight. Oh, and I fell down.
Oh, and I fell down a hole too. Good.
Classic.
So what changes did you make?
What?
What changes did you make?
Oh, I just changed weapons. That's all.
Okay. Disarm, bitches.
So you will have a lot less explosives.
I kind of like the time bombs.
6
oh,
people
yep.
might be a
Just
lot.
found it. Depends on the map, I guess. How many maps are there? 3?
There's, I think, 4 right off the bat.
Do we unlock more? Or? Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Need some time to mine, jackass.
They'll just keep blowing up. Why would you do that?
What?
You blew yourself up.
Oh, did they blow backwards?
Well, no, because you were throwing them into a missing explosion.
Yep. So they did. So they detonate based on. Good for me.
Nope, I just put a time mine on a guy.
Oh,
Made that
is
kill.
stickies?
Yep, they
Ah,
can stick.
fun.
They stick to anything they land on.
Early plasma grenades. Got some ammo. Is ammo just whatever gun you have in your hand? Or is it specific?
No, I think it is specific.
But it doesn't tell you what it is?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's not a good way to know.
Weird.
'Cause I picked up a box of ammo when it was time to mine.
And nothing happened? Well, no, I mean, there's time mines, but other than that, like, it was an ammo crate. Oh, hello. It's you. Woohoo.
Oh, you want a time mine on you? Everybody gets a time mine.
Yeah, so do you. I disarmed you,
No,
I think. Did you have a gun?
no, I had a time mine.
You don't say.
That's why we all died.
I've only died twice, really? I've died like 10 times. Okay, I've seen no guns. Did you reduce the number of guns, or is it just the map?
No, there are definitely guns.
I've not picked up a gun, literally. I've just had time mines.
Yeah, no, I've had a hard time finding a gun too.
They don't seem to have any problems. Oh, I think I got him.
I think we can
Will you-
sell like
will you
what
get-
gun we've started with.
Will you get
so-
posthumous kills?
Yeah, you can.
Alright, I think I should have gotten that one. I did.
No, you can't kill me. I have an actual gun this time.
I'm really working out my 1-2 jab. Good old Kaze-sen. Hey, I got a silencer! Haha. Or, oh, come on! I literally got a gun.
You got most harmless this
I
time.
literally. Who needs ammo.
All right, we'll play with some easier.
Later on,
We're just getting wrecked.
-4. Or negative, wait, hey, I got 4. Wait, am I 1? I'm 1, aren't I?
What's that?
I'm 1, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
Ah, okay.
I got 3.
You had a gun. Look who had a gun and a shooter.
I had just had a lot of times to stick people as well.
Mm-hmm. More nostalgia, equally. Oh! No, it's broken. Sorry. Oh, you also have Reliant K.
There you go.
And...
Another
more Reliant K. Reeks of the early 2000s.
I thought there was a way to sell like starting weapons, which would be fun.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Okay, well,
time, score. Okay, it's 10. Yep, D score. So that's what the limits are.
Ooh.
Dude, I could just see being locked. Like, again, this just screams childhood to me. I can just like hear this music being like in a basement with friends
Oh, definitely.
until like midnight, which would be like late. My mom being angry.
Alright, cool. This has only proximity mines. And we'll get some of the stimulus. We'll just change them to normal.
Oh yeah, pistols. Wow. Yeah, this is super. That's interesting that you can't do anything to change your starting weapon. Candy caps? No. What player are you?
I'm player 2. Good lord.
Yeah, 1,000? Is that necessary?
I don't really know what that even
Is
does.
the difference between 800 usually is damage percent, right? Is the difference between 507% and 537% and 1,000% really meaningful?
I don't really know. 10%.
Damage taken.
Give,
Yeah.
give me 10%.
No, I'm not gonna give it. Restore defaults because it's imprecise. Slide.
Scenario combat. Alright, let's do this.
Where do we go?
Random level. We just have different weapons and we've got easier computers.
Exactly the meat sim.
He's the easiest one. He's just meat. He's just a block of meat.
Yeah, well, that was easy. Meat boy. Uh-oh.
I'll punch you.
Is that a gun? Oh, some ammo though. How much ammo is this? Some? Now, will the ammo carry over? Like, if I just got, like, dragon ammo, and then I find a dragon, will I have more ammo?
I don't think so.
That is super, super fake.
Oh, we got a sniper rifle. What's up?
Oh, nice. Was sniping a big thing? Because I feel like sniping would be, like, way worse than any automatic... Oh, hello. And, like, strictly worse than an automatic weapon in a game like this, right?
Yes.
Because sniping requires, like, at least some level of precision.
Precision, yeah, exactly.
Which you do not have in this game.
Well, the nice thing is when you're in scoped mode, like, you basically don't use the other joystick when you're even in, like,
Then it's just,
current shooters.
That's true, that's true.
Because you've already defined, you've locked one
Yeah,
one
yeah, that's true.
axis.
That's true.
You're not moving, so...
And he, like, in here, it's just like a shoot 'em up, you know?
Yeah.
And you got me, didn't you? No.
That wasn't me. You thought it was me because he was so good.
It doesn't have the classic blood dribble from GoldenEye when you die, you know?
Oh, no, it doesn't, you're right.
I mean, it's got something, so it's just the red screen, but it's not quite.
Oh my gosh, I can't see anything.
Now, this would be kind of fun in, like, a 1v, or a single player. You know? Being able to, like, snipe people like this would feel cool.
Why is my vision so dark? I must have gotten poisoned with something.
Because we hate you. I think the sniper rifle has the exact same zoom as the dragon. It's interesting too, like the auto aim proximity mines. I feel like those gotta be good, right?
Proximity mines are pretty cool. They just blow up when people get near them.
Yeah.
But I think they also blow up if you get near them, so be careful.
Not like I'm gonna remember where that was.
Exactly. I'm sure that won't be a problem for you, though.
What's that supposed to mean? Got a shit ton of these. Oh, I just put a proximity mine on the roof. That's the thing I'm sensitive about. Alright. Alright, nerds. proximity mine
sniping
kill.
is hard on this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go to
Just use the mines. I mean, it might be this controller setup.
Dragon. I doubt that the 64 controller
It's probably a
be
little
better
bit more
in
intuitive.
anyway. Really? Oh, I just blew myself up, didn't I?
Yeah, I think that you might underestimate the importance of the Z key. Yeah, the Z, like how that feels better than like having to operate two shoulder buttons for this.
What's the other shoulder button you're using?
The aim button when you're sniping.
Yeah, you can use that one.
Yeah. So
Okay, so just I see. But I don't get what was Z on 64?
it was a trigger in the back.
Yeah, no, I know, but like, what did that do? Was that the shot?
Yeah, I was shooting.
So what was the? Oh man,
Weapon of choice, unarmed, fit.
most suicidal and dishonorable. Wow,
You're
feels good, man.
you're not doing great.
I did better than you. How? How did I do better than you?
I don't know. I just died a lot more.
No, you didn't. You died 0 times. Oh wait, yeah, you did.
No,
Sorry, that's
you
I
died.
see. Yeah.
I killed. So I killed no one.
Interesting. It doesn't have any kills. Like it just shows you your score being. I see. I'm sorry. Yep, that makes sense. Yep. All right. Well, that was fun for a second.
Yeah. Let's do one more and then we'll
let's do a couple more.
We'll talk about.
Well, what time is it? We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
It's only 9:15.
9:15.
How about we up the I want to let's make some teams and then set some bigger limits, right? So let's set a.
You want to be on a team?
Yeah.
Against
Want to be
all the
us against
computers?
everyone?
Us against the world.
We can do a no limit. We can do a no limit, just time.
Yeah, no limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long? 8?
Yeah.
Seven.
Sounds good.
Let's do 8. And
7. I like 7 or 8 are my options.
yeah.
You want 7 minutes or 8 minutes?
Oh yeah, I don't know what you want.
Go crazy.
We do an 8? Yeah, we're gonna splurge.
Yeah.
Alright, you got the teams ready?
Yep. Teams
What do
are
we have
ready.
for weapons?
I'm figuring it out.
Dragon shield. No, not shield. Shield me no like oh, you can't change the individual
I
weapons?
can change to custom and that we can.
Oh. Oh yeah, let's,
AR 34 is probably good.
let's just put on a whole lot of numbers. Sniper, what's the AR?
We can just do assault, right? Automatics. Like there you go.
Falcon is not automatic. That is shield and disabled.
What?
Just nothing. It would be a really bad weapon.
Wow.
You just shift and it gives you a random disability.
I'll have to think about that for a second.
It's a solid first string. What's a cyclone? Sounds cool.
Yeah, we're also backward again on the stream, which is funny.
Alright.
I'm here and I'm.
Oh, yeah, on the-
So.
Yeah, let's get some of the cool stuff, man. Magnums. Yeah,
Dude, the Cyclone is cool. You definitely want to have Cyclone.
I want the cyclone.
The AR-34 is cool.
Dragon, snow gun. Maxac 4 sounds pretty cool.
I think it's just a pistol, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
I really like proximity mines.
I'm good with these.
Good for this.
Yep.
We have 2 AR-34. Is that alright?
That's a pretty powerful gun.
So we switch it to a less powerful automatic, like just the dragon.
Yeah.
Alright, done. Alright, did it.
Cool. I don't know why.
Ready?
Yep. Let's do it.
Now, does each one of those slots correspond to like a certain rarity, or like is one
Do like
putting
a
in
specific
one is
spawn
different?
location?
Yeah,
I
kind
think,
of.
I think
I'm sure
so,
it does.
yes.
So they just coded it even to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got some Magnum bullets. Interesting. It even told me what. Oh, and I got a Magnum. Sick. Nice. The revolver. I love that a revolver decided to be the most powerful gun in video games, despite the fact that there's nothing inherent about a revolver that should make it any more powerful than
Any other pistol?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh, there's so many of them.
Oh
they
god,
just
I'm
are-
sorry. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I just charged into
I got
like
94 Magnum shots. So
You're doing well.
It doesn't show where the time is.
Wow, I spawned exactly where I died. This was a terrible decision by the game engine.
Well, I literally cannot find you. And I got a cyclone, so that's fun.
Cyclones are...
What even is they? Cyclone. Oh wow, he blew up. Oh my god, were those all missiles that I was shooting?
No. I don't know what blew him up, but it wasn't anything you did. That's definitely the coolest feature of the Cyclone, the reload.
What, the reload? That was dope,
the mag through.
I must have shot a mine or something behind him. Screw these yellow nerds. Oh, I'm dead.
I will avenge your death.
It's a Magnum, a really slow shot. It is, yeah. So what, there's nowhere to see the, oh, I see, here we go. Oh, look at that, you can even see it in real time. Look at that, it's fun. And timer, cool. Cool. You watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I know.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. It's very much the Parks and Rec of the thing.
Oh, come on.
John, man. It's dope. And if you're not part of it, everything to see. Oh god, there's you. Is this a cyclone?
At a certain point, there's just guns.
Guess what, mother? Oh, come on. Was that you? No, it
I
wasn't.
don't think so.
Cyclone's not too accurate, it feels like.
No, it doesn't have very much, like, the lock-on
range.
range is, like, pretty...
Also, why are we always women? Is that just a thing that the protagonists are always women? Not that I have any problem with that. I'm just like, yeah, it sounded way too. Wow. I love the poorly educated.
Wow. Trying to stay good.
Offending everyone. No, is it like, are we part of an all-woman agency?
I think that's, yeah.
Is that what Perfect Dark is?
Yes. Sure. I know about as much as you do at this point. I really didn't pay much attention to the storyline when I was 13.
How dare you. Can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man.
Oh, proximity mines are going up, baby.
Proximity, yep. Boys. Also, will they, yeah, I think you, well, okay. Someone survived all 3 of those. That's...
Oh, I got somebody.
Damn right you did. Will they go away and you die, right?
Nope, they stay.
Proximity mines?
Yep, they stay.
That's super OP.
Oh, wait.
I love it.
No, they might actually go away.
I feel like they don't stick around, but that's just GoldenEye talking.
It's just your golden eye talking. You don't have to listen to it.
What? Got some Magnum bullets, though. Come here, let me hit you with my Magnum. Son of a bitch. Right. Why did it tell me that I get Magnum bullets, but ammo is for everything else?
Because that's what you were asking about earlier, about whether or not it tells you if you get a specific type of ammo.
Yeah.
Apparently the answer is yes.
Well, apparently just
with
for Magnum bullets.
I think just for certain weapons have like certain custom bullets. Other things just use like generic ammo.
Ah! So lethality is pretty high. I think we might have bitten off more than we could chew with 5 dudes against the. How many do we have?
No, it's just
2v4.
3v2.
Oh, really? There's only 3 of them?
Yep, it's only 3 of them.
I always run into them in pairs. We should really pair up.
That would be smart. That would be intelligent.
Alright, just stay alive. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm just gonna proximity mine the junk out of this area. Hey boys, how long does this take? Yep, there we go.
There we go. There we go, guys.
Take that. Some men just want to watch the world burn. That was the worst Michael Caine
That was
impression
such a bad one.
anyone's ever done, ever.
Some men just want to
I know,
watch the world
that was Michael
burn.
Caine.
After he got punched
Having
in
a
the
stroke.
mouth.
Punched in the throat.
Some men just want
Like so stupid. That is Michael Caine doing the Penguin. That is Danny DeVito doing Michael Caine. Hey, look beyond that. Okay, guns are nothing to my furious
I've got
fists.
dual magnums.
Oh, you can do that? Do you remember that felt like? Did you just pick up a second magnum
Yeah.
and that's how you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's sick.
Come on out.
Dual magnums are tight. To anyone who doesn't get those references, which is probably most people, it's a series on YouTube called Pitch Meeting. Unfortunately, it's by Screen Rant, which sucks.
Yeah.
Like all the rest of Screen Rant, I do not enjoy, but the pitch meetings are very good. Oh,
Okay.
that's you. Sorry.
Stop trying to punch me.
I didn't. I was.
I can tell you wanted to.
That was the heel of my hand.
Yeah, but it would have been a deadly heal. Oh,
Ah,
there's
well.
your dead body falling.
Probably
over.
not, considering the fact that I have healed people before, and it didn't seem to work. I feel like there's way more than 3 of them, I swear. We should have turned up the radar. It's like they're hacking. Hacks! Call hacks. Oh, no. I think I got one.
Survive a little longer. I'll be right there.
Really?
Yep, I died 11 times.
Just a lot of times. Tell you how many I did. I was killed by Norm Sim. I died 11 times too. Specific.
Okay.
Oh, it's an equal opportunity
We are bad at
murder
this.
fest. I think we're gonna lose, Mark. Alright, I got Dragon. Stay
I
alive.
don't think we're gonna.
Stay alive. Alright, I killed one.
Negative all the time.
I killed one. And I'm out of bullets. And they're here. And now we're proximity mine. You served 20 bullets for the dragon.
It's not a lot.
Especially when it fires like 20 bullets a second.
I would use proximity self-destruct.
I think it's very much.
Lure them down here. It'll blow up and kill them all.
I feel like it's very much a. Oh my god.
Are you serious? You're the worst.
Unless it was someone else with a late proximity mine. You were killed. Oh, yep, it killed by blue. Well, I didn't know where you were.
Literally the worst. You're literally the worst.
You're the worst. Literally the worst. I'll show you that one. I think that's a hard one to find. I'm just gonna run. Was there body armor in this game? There's body armor.
There's body armor. That's what shield is. You know the thing you keep disabling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what that
Okay, I was
is.
just thinking like Riot Shield from stupid Call of Duty.
I stuck him with a proximity mine.
Did he die from the impact of the proximity mine?
No, but I stuck him with a proximity mine.
It's like when you kill someone with the impact of a
Grenade.
yeah, of a frag. Plasmas, obviously, but I don't think those ever killed.
1 minute left, Greg. We can go.
How we doing?
This out. We gotta pull it out.
All right, I'm gonna try to find a gun. No, just stay with me. I know it sounds crazy.
Okay, what would you do with this gun?
Gun, yeah.
This so-called gun.
Just get up. See, oh, dude, they can shoot down. That is some horse dung. All right, I'm just gonna proximity mine this general. Oh! So the other thing is, hello. Hello, Governor. Wow, really? Not gonna walk to any of those proximity mines? I threw so many of them. Don't go downstairs unless the proximity mines reset. It's not looking like they do.
Is that a mine? That looks like a mine.
Yeah, sure is.
I'm going on a murder spree.
Got
Oh,
so many mines. Oh darn.
Second.
Alrighty, how do you
Oh, wow, we got
quad
second.
kill and
That's
most harmless, so that's confusing. I don't know what to do with that shit. 18.
Hey, we actually were
That
not
was-
beaten by as
wow.
bad as I thought we were.
I thought we
gonna
got murdered.
Yeah, me too.
I thought we like together did. Both died 15 times. You got 6 more. You got double my kills. So you're the hard carry. That's okay. We both killed the. No, wait. No, yeah. You killed me once.
I did kill you.
With your stupid. I killed you once.
I could tell I was getting more kills than you, and I just got fed up, so I killed you.
That seems backwards.
Yeah.
That seems worse.
Does that seem like an overreaction?
Let's try that again because you screwed that up.
Okay.
That was fun. Let's go down to 2v2. I feel like that will.
Yeah, let's do that.
be a little
Might even it out a little.
I mean, it is the other thing though. Is like I was talking about old games being harder. Why was that, Mark? Why were old games harder?
Well, I think we identified a lot of the stuff right off the bat, right? Like, think about how little
just
hand-holding
control.
this game did for you.
Well, even just like controls being clunkier, and an AI doesn't have to worry about how clunky controls are. They
Yeah.
are the AI. They just get to do it.
Yep, exactly. That you run into that a lot with Perfect Dark. Where you're just like, if you,
If
especially
I was,
if you turn this up to like the highest difficulty, it is insane.
Oh, yeah,
They like
sure.
pop out of a corner. You could be like up in a little like
Yeah.
tower, and they'll just headshot you.
It also makes headshots a lot cooler in that aiming is impossible.
Yeah,
So getting headshots is actually super important.
it's really impressive.
But it turns out getting headshots is still really impressive in a normal shooter.
That's true. I wonder why that is.
Headshots?
Yeah.
Just because of the complexity of the
It's
system.
a small.
And it's just so precise too.
Mhm.
Now that you can get a level of precision, like even in the game world. Alright, what do we do? Same weapons?
Yeah, same weapons,
Same map?
but less people, different map.
Oh good. Right when I was learning something. I don't want to make this too easy. Alright, I'm coming
You can
towards.
definitely crouch because this guy crouches.
This guy
how it is.
crouches.
This guy crouches.
Bro. Alright, I'm gonna not die here for a second. I'm gonna find frick, they're between you and me. I think they're closing in. This is very, very scary. What's up, nerds? Come for me. Come on. I dare you. I devil dare you. I want you to do it. I want you to do it.
I want you to do it.
Okay. I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Remember that line being less whispery in Dark Knight?
Yes. That's true.
just
a little less creepy.
I mean, amazingly so, considering it was the Joker. Mark, I'm dead twice.
Wow, you are not carrying your weight on this team.
Do I? I think I established that I'm weightless with the last game.
You're weightless.
Oh yeah, you definitely can crouch. Look, there's an area that you can crouch into.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
You didn't say that. You said this guy crouch. I said that. And I'm dead.
Is it?
To be fair, the guy who crouched got me.
See, if we could just crouch, we'd be so good at this game.
Yeah, do you remember that Batman comic, The Man Who Crouches? Man Who Man Who Laughs.
The man who knew that. That's such an obscure. Did you really just make that reference?
What?
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
The man who laughs.
Well, it's
I didn't get that was a Batman reference until you said that.
Well, it wasn't. It was it's a bat. Wait. What reference do you think that was?
I didn't know it was a reference at all.
All right, getting proximity mines up in this.
Oh, come on.
Oh!
Did you proximity yourself to death?
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
I keep starting in the same, like, little closed area.
I again have not yet found a gun.
Which I really like.
Oh, no, I did. I had a gun earlier. Oh, got another gun.
You might have a gun,
I'm
you
so
won't
good at
even
this
think
game,
you
Mark.
don't have a gun.
Check this out. I'm gonna turn around. Boom. Boom. Oh, how many shots is this nerd gonna take? What? Dude, I've nailed him at least twice with the Magnum.
Yeah.
And the Magnum should be one shot, right?
No, the Magnum's not one shot.
Well, it's a big gun then. Why did we put the Magnum? Who picked the Magnum?
You did.
I'm telling you.
Don't do this.
Don't. Try it again because you messed it up. Nice.
Kill count 4.
You know, I think the reason you're better at this is because you played it like 20 years ago.
That's probably why.
That's what I'm telling myself. Oh, hey. Nice suit.
Might not be
It's
wrong.
purple.
I mean, I do know this map really well still.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna Dude, this is a great place for proximity mines. Like this map.
Oh yeah. It's like closed hallways. I think most of these maps are pretty closed in now. And so they lend themselves to like, first of all, not sniping, right? We've established that.
I mean, so many things about this game
You
lend
know,
themselves well to not sniping.
and I love to snipe as
Oh
well, so
god,
that
you
made me
son of a crouching mother. I'm just gonna throw a proximity mine into the crouch place.
son of a crouching mother.
Oh, come on! How did that not kill him? Popped out. Avenge me. Also, I mind a lot of stuff, so if they don't go away and you die, you're probably gonna die.
Good. Oh dang it! I was gonna lay that as a proximity mine because I knew I was gonna die there.
Cyclone! All the weapons spawns in the same spot?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You check out what the secondary is on Cyclone. I don't remember.
Magazine
Oh,
discharge.
it just keeps shooting until the magazine's gone.
I mean, that's kind of what you do anyway. That's a really cool reload animation.
Oh, this is cool. This secondary animation.
Yeah.
Use the scope.
Check it.
Use the scope, Luke.
Use that. Wait, on what?
If you do the secondary, and this is just permanently scoped without having to.
Oh, interesting.
Which is kind of nice.
What is that, Drake?
This is an AR-34.
That's it. Come and get me. Got him. Dude, I'm sitting on like a 2 KD right now. There's diamond now. Just picked up one of the. Can we have friendly fire on? Probably shouldn't shoot you. I'm not gonna shoot. I'm behind you.
I got proximity mines. Are gonna go over there
Alright,
by the
cool.
door.
I'm just gonna. I'll cover our rear.
Hold on to your butts.
Do we have a? You should be ready. Radar really helps. Oh god. Oh no. Yeah, that's bad. I'm probably dead. Stop moving. God. Damn. That's straight up. So that's interesting. Like there is like I just lost that firefight based on
Position.
being just being bad at the game. So there's a level of skill that can go into this, right?
Okay,
Like,
well.
what if pro gamers got a hold of this? Whoops. Whoopsie. I think that was you, to be fair.
It was me.
Did it say that you just killed me?
Uh,
Nope, suicide. Great. No, like yeah, how would like competitive gamers deal with this game nowadays? You know? What would that even be?
That's a good question.
Would there be a good competitive scene?
There wasn't, right? Back when this first came out.
Was there a competitive scene for anything though?
Probably Quake at this point.
Yeah, it's a
before
good
if I had
point.
a
Quake or
competitive
Unreal
scene
Tournament.
around.
Was Unreal out at this point?
May have been. Probably.
I'd like to think so. That really should have blown him up. Alright, good. Thank God. I swear, he literally got blown up by like 5 different proximity mines. You know, I'm really digging the 8-minute thing. I'm not gonna lie.
You think that's a good limit?
I think that's the limit, man. I think we did it. We've done it!
The perfect limit. Very dark. We figured it out. 20 years.
Double
after
Magnum,
this game was
bitch!
created.
Oh, come on! God, girls! I got a double Magnum kill, and I feel like such a man. Oh crap! No, Magnums! Come to me! Oh no! Ah shit! Oh no! Come back! We're good. All right, and I just killed you.
Yeah, you killed me!
Magnum!
I saved your life and you magnumed me to
Magnum,
death.
bitch.
Yeah, this guy, there's some tearing in his
Yeah, this guy Magnums.
This guy magnums.
Yes, he does.
By magnum, you mean he kills his teammates.
That was an accident. That was an actual accident. I panicked. I had like one. I had 1 bullet left.
Only 1 bullet left.
No, I'm like to be shot by. I can only be shot by 1 more bullet.
A man who can only be shot by 1 bullet.
In a world where only 1 bullet will blow you the F up. I'm just gonna proximity mine all around me, so that if I go, everyone goes with.
Just don't go to around that corner and to your right toward the blue area, okay?
Don't do that?
Blow up. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a gun there. That's...
Haha! I killed him in the crouch area. Punk. Let's see here. I do kind of want to know how to crouch. Why?
Don't we all?
Hello. It's like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh yeah, it's kind of like that. Oh.
Ready to play.
How you? You know the proximity mines are not really working in our favor.
I mean, they might be. Ah!
Right? No, we got first.
Do we win?
Yeah! Oh, we're not terrible at this game. We can beat 2 normal computers.
Shortest life. And we. Oh, I thought we won by 1.
No. Good.
Play 2, play 1. Wow, I only got 5. Wait, what? Really?
You did great.
I got more than 5
You
kills.
did good.
I got more than 5
You're
kills.
right, you did.
Dude, I saw it when it said 6.
That's
I
right.
swear to God, I saw 7.
Yeah, you're
At
right.
least 7. Your breath smells like fries.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. I think we're gonna call it there. We're
Really? I
gonna
thought we were
talk,
going until 10.
yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the game.
For 25 minutes?
Sure. You know, we do usually do a podcast for an hour.
Yeah, I know, but... Alright. So we're gonna be super theoretical. Because usually people don't like watching that.
Yes.
The best of my knowledge.
We're gonna be super theoretical.
You just not want to play it anymore?
That's right.
Really? How's that fun?
No, I do. I mean,
No.
I would love to keep playing. But if
Okay, let's talk.
we're gonna turn this into a podcast also.
Cool.
We also are starting to release podcasts.
Oh, are we?
for this. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
well, that makes more
we
sense.
want to be able to strip the audio
I feel
and
better about
use it
that.
for something.
I do feel better.
Good. It's not that I have a vendetta against Perfect Dark. On the contrary.
Says
I'm
Perfect Dark. Always the perfects.
Yes.
So outside of the strange 1990s obsession with, like, secret agent women.
Yes, spy sort of things. It's kind of like a holdover from the Cold War, I think, in that way.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean the fact that like spies and
Oh, spies.
were
Okay,
very
okay. I was
popular
talking about women.
from
I was like secret agent women.
women are really just kind of a leftover thing
From the Cold War, yeah.
We
We all remember when.
didn't used to have
Yeah,
them.
yeah. No, yeah, I think you're absolutely right in terms of that, like, aesthetic. Like, I mean, it's very James Bondy.
Yeah,
Interesting.
a little less like
19 spiritual successors. Okay, so it was the same guys that did. Goldeneye.
Yeah, that being that. No
I
surprises
mean,
there.
yeah, kind of had to be.
Hmm.
Yep. All right. Upgraded version of the same engine, single player mode, difficulties, multiplayer, cooperative, deathmatch, yada yada yada, widescreen support, and surround sound.
Yeah, I would say that probably like the audio-visual stuff was some of the more polished things in that game.
I was wondering if the frame rate was because of where we were playing it, but it's inconsistent frame rate was a often issue.
Yeah, well,
Widely
especially when there's like
praised.
explosions and things. It was very ambitious, I think, as a title.
Yeah. Well, I think too. Yeah, the customizableness. Yeah, it's interesting. 2001, best product. Legacy, sister title, Velvet Dark. Interesting. All right. Well, what were your big takeaways? Or maybe we should save that for the end.
No, I think we talked about takeaways. I think I kind of knew this going in, but just like the control scheme is like super
Yeah.
It's important in a game.
Yeah.
And I think the weirder thing for me is just how little it bothered me before I knew anything else.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? That it's very possible we'll look back on the Halo control scheme and be like, what in the... Okay, maybe that's not true. I feel like it would require I don't know, man. You think we'll ever think that way? Unless we had a the reason that made sense is because they added a joystick, and then suddenly everything made sense. Right? Like we were saying, the control scheme with one joystick, the way it was actually probably optimized.
Yeah. And I remember trying. So I liked getting headshots in Perfect Dark when I was little.
Yeah, really.
I used to like bump the C stick and it would decrease my aim, but it would inch up my reticle a little bit, and I could try to get headshots, and that's what I really enjoyed challenging myself with when I was still playing the game.
And there was definitely a level of it wasn't fatal enough. Like I could definitely see how aiming well would get me kills faster, right? Particularly depending on the weapon. I mean, like you gotta spray and pray with the what was it called? The Cobra? No, the
Cyclone?
The Cyclone, right.
Sure.
But even just for like the semi-autos or even some of the weaker autos, like you require you to stay on target, and if you were to bump it up and do a headshot, it would probably be close to medium. So it's cool. Like the even just the scaling there was still a thing. Was correct. I was thinking too, like what would that game have if it's hard to apply something as labyrinth as how online would affect things. It's not quite as simple as just one-to-one because it would affect so many different things. But how would that game work online? Like, trying to compare it to like modern day Call of Duty, Halo, the FPSs of
it's
today.
Pretty fast paced, and I think it would just be made really fast paced by online play.
You know what it reminded me of a little bit?
What?
In that regard, in terms of like modern day?
Sure.
Closer to no, that's not true. Maybe it was just the graphics and the clunkiness and it reminded me more so of Overwatch and the pace of play than like Call of Duty.
Yes, I would say that's accurate.
In terms of that might just be spawn locations.
Low punishment for death.
Yep, and pretty frantic firefights. Obviously, not nearly as many abilities, but like a lot of it because you get guns from locations instead of like spawns. It felt like more objective based, like location based, where you go to different areas and your locational location. Woo! Your where you are obviously has a great deal of how you're going to be interacting, as well as just the different types of guns that really do actually force you to play slightly differently depending on what you have. The proximity mines in particular are real fun. But, I don't know, Call of Duty, that might just be a scale thing, too. Or COD maps are so much bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
But even, I don't know, even then, like, there's a really tiny, the current Call of Duty, the World War II one, I think it's just COD World War II, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Black Ops 4 is out. Crap, it's not current anymore. Good lord. Anyway, World War II was the last one I played. And they have one map that is, like, you can almost literally spawn on top of the other team. There's, like...
Really?
It's pretty fun. It's just like a storage yard with like box shipping containers. So there's just little lanes, and it's just you die and you live for an average of like 10 seconds tops.
Oh my gosh.
But
that feels more like what we just played.
But even I was just thinking like it sounds more like it, but it didn't feel more like it. And I don't know why.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because like positioning doesn't.
We haven't talked much about FPSs on the cast.
No, we haven't. No. We've done a couple of episodes, but positioning.
Doesn't make me want to play Halo though.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, well maybe we'll get Halo next.
Did you ever play through the original Master Chief Edition where you could switch back and forth from the original graphics?
Yeah, I played it once.
To the Halo Reach graphics. I think it was Reach, or was it? It might have been 4 graphics. Anyway, the super modern from the originals, and it was literally press of a button.
Yeah,
so fun.
Really
Loved
cool.
doing that.
It was just that was so showy of them to put that in, where you could just toggle between the two.
Well, yeah, because
the contrast really heightens. Like, oh my gosh, look at how much they've improved.
Oh, you remember what they did? It was literally they just ran both games on top of each other.
Oh, did they?
At the same time. Yeah, you're not switching anything. You're just literally switching like the feed. Like you're not updating. Yeah, so they're both running permanently. Because like the original CE had such. I mean, that takes up so little space in terms of the processing power that it literally just ran both games under it. So you're playing both at the same time. You can just switch between them. But that was slick. Anyway, point is.
One of the things I wanted to talk. Well, what was your?
I didn't have a point.
Okay. Yeah, you want to play Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do want to play it.
It's a good game. So like aiming is such an important part, and just like learning how to aim is such an important part of shooting anyway. And that's like a lot of what the game is like learning how to aim well and how to shoot people well. And so, like the fact that that was difficult, it didn't really detract from the gameplay as much because it's already something that you're like that is part of the challenge, right? Is to like be able to shoot something.
Well, it's so interesting too, even just in terms of scale. Again, outside of the map scale, like how many weapons? There are probably like 15 weapons total.
There's a few more unlockable. I would say there's like 20 and 25, which is a pretty impressive like collection for that time period.
But anyway, just compare that to a modern game too. Like however many tens of thousands of combinations of perks and abilities and attachments and weapons on top of maps, on top of game modes. Like that was all we had. You know, like that was the top of the line shooting combat. Like, did people play? As before online, so obviously there was less. But like, did people play less games? Would you have played that by yourself against AI?
Yeah.
I think I would have too. Like, it's so relatively simple, and yet we got so much mileage out of it.
Yeah.
So that to me like makes me wonder: is it just a level of kind of continual exposure to complexity makes you like just desensitizes you as you go on? You just want more and more stimulation. Or is there a level of there was a simpler game design that was legitimately as engaging and deep as the super complex multiplayer game modes that we have today, or experiences?
I think it's more the latter. Like most of the complexity that comes from a lot of these multiplayer games actually comes from the people that you're playing with. Right, which isn't still the case when I play with you. Yeah. Right? It's like we get to strategize together, even when we're on the same team. It's like you accidentally blew me up a couple times. I shot you a few times.
No, I shot you. Did you shoot me?
Yeah, I definitely.
Okay, I got you with the Magnum.
But even like just, I think that the complexity really a lot of times comes from the people and not as much from the gameplay. In fact, I think when it's decent gameplay, the complexity doesn't get in the way a lot. Like, you can take advantage of it when you need to, but it's not something you're always having to manage, unless it's something like an RTS where managing complexity really is the game.
It's so different. There's no bars to fill. This might sound. I want to be careful of not being too revisionist or too like rosy retrospection. But like when I even today, like when I sit down, I wasn't as my roommate had. World War II, and I just played it a few times with him. And even then, because I made my own little account, like, just the feeling and experience and waking up, like, that's why I would play multiplayer matches. It was, like, a little bit for the, like, objective, like, playing the fun of it, but, like, I wanted to be, like, leveling up my class, like, getting this gun, and, like, leveling up this attachment. And there's zero of that in this.
That's true.
Precisely zero. And
people would still... Things, but you level up or anything.
That's true, you had the cheats. But at the same time, how many, like it's just such a inherently different like part of my brain that's being switched on for this, I was really just playing it for fun, really quite purely, and that doesn't. I mean, it's very rare. I feel like it might be very rare to have anything that's not objective based in a game nowadays.
Yeah, the objectives and achievements and goals have really. It's gone. They've really turned it up to 11, I guess. Like there was a time where
that's not an inherently bad thing, I don't think. But there's something like oddly refreshing about like. I had zero. If I boot up that game again, it would not be to make more progression in my multiplayer. It'd be because playing the multiplayer was fun.
Right.
And that still exists. I mean, that still exists. But like, and I would say too, even with Call of Duty, primarily, the game has to be fun to fill up your bars. But yeah, like even like when I was like a game I really enjoyed that I played a lot of a few years ago. God, probably many years ago now. The original Titanfall was the last probably FPS that I played like semi-seriously. And I loved that game, and it was similar in terms of had a lot of it was simplified in terms of had less things than a Call of Duty game, but had a very similar kind of modern FPS progression system in terms of leveling up your character and weapons and builds and all that jazz. And I just remember every single time logging in that I would be very hyper aware. Like I'd be very hyper aware of what I was going to be doing, what my goals were for that session in terms of what I was going to be leveling. And I'd be playing the matches, and within the matches, I'd have the kind of little microcosm of trying to achieve well within the match. But in large part, I'd be very aware. I'd had to feel like I'd done something before and after, and I would reflect on what I'd done and like where I was going to go, or what my next goal was, or how long that would take.
Right.
Which, like I said, I don't think it's inherently bad. It's certainly good for bringing back.
Yeah.
But there is something, I don't know, I don't want to just reduce it all to those simpler times, but like, kind of was.
Well,
Right?
there were games where you could get what you're talking about, right? There were still RPGs, there were still
That's true,
games that
that's
were
true.
very level based.
Yeah.
It's just that
There just wasn't in the...
they didn't feel the need to mix all those different incentives
Yeah.
to play,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. So not every single game needed that. In fact, that was a very niche thing, right? That was
Right.
like for the super nerds who would be that into that many customizable things,
Right.
Right. Which
Yeah.
is now the norm, at least,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I think progression and growth in games has gotten a lot more popular,
Yeah.
and so you just see that show up in a lot more places. And so it is refreshing when you see a game where it's like, oh, I just like Portal, right? No progression in Portal other than like getting to the next level, solving the puzzle.
Right.
There's no inherent growth. You could spend 5 hours solving the same puzzle, and if you aren't very smart, you haven't done anything really.
Yeah, but that's not multiplayer. I think the fascinating thing is that there's an entire subset of cynically, the only one of the major things that's changed. Remember our eternal question of why do developers seem to spend so much time making sure you keep on playing their game.
Right.
Now there's a financial, like, Perfect Dark didn't care.
Right.
Like you bought it and then that was it. So they didn't need to monetize, like incentivize with these, like we've talked about, kind of these very simple psychological processes of reward completion and task completion and follow through and not leaving things undone.
Right.
That got monetized basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's just it, isn't it? I was trying to think of like a counterpoint to that.
Well, you're right. They didn't need to do that. They had already sold you the game. You had the cartridge in your hand, and
Yeah, but it's like inherently, I don't know. I don't want to just hate on that as an idea.
what the idea of incentivizing people to play.
I guess.
I mean, there's a certain amount of satisfaction people get from progression and growth in games,
Yeah.
and people come back for that. I don't think it's inherently bad.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's popular right now, but because it's popular, you just kind of see it everywhere. And if you play a lot of different games, it sort of becomes, I don't know. It's like, what is this person's progression system?
Right.
Instead of just focusing on how do I make this fun, there's a little more of a focus on, okay, how do I make the player feel like they're achieving something?
And stick around.
Right.
Because the purpose of progression systems is to keep you playing. I mean, it's to give you things. It's to, in theory, it's in the least cynical way possible. It is to lengthen and like literally give depth and give more things to do and get more mileage out of the game for the player.
Sure.
As opposed to, so I guess that would be one critique of this kind of style where there is only so much you can do. But it also just makes me think of like the World of Warcraft effect, where like people like Blizzard, this gigantic studio, will spend months creating this incredibly intricate expansion, and then players will blow through it in like 4 days and be like, where the heck is all my content?
Right.
Like the classic, like just players will consume content faster than you can possibly ever make it.
Right.
Dynamic where like, I don't know, yeah, maybe there's something. That standard wasn't set back in the day, right? Like,
Right.
would anyone have been angry about the amount of content in Perfect Dark?
No.
Probably not.
No.
In fact, quite the contrary. It's easy to look up the reviews of the time and how it's regarded. I mean, it's considered a complete and utter masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just an interesting time change too, in terms of, did we have longer attention spans? Did we have? Was it just a pure expectation thing?
Yeah.
Or is there, again, just inherent better, like, goodness or higher dignity to a simpler game that requires its user to throw more kind of emergent or complexity or self kind of imagination to project into it than all of this given incentive?
I think it's an interesting question. There is a sense, I think, of emptiness that you could come away with after playing this game for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which, because just you haven't accomplished anything, and like if you had a good time bonding with people, then like you had that, right?
Yeah.
You like, I enjoyed spending time with my friends,
Right.
and that's what I walk away with. So the relationship is more of an incentive than anything in the game.
Yeah, totally.
But I think as games moved more and more toward individual play, they needed to give you things that were incentivizing you to come back and invest in and not feel empty after you played for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so progression systems became more popular because there wasn't the sort of intrinsic motivation to go back to the game. They had to give you an external motivation from the game.
Yeah, totally. And that probably, I mean, it's as with most things that are complex. I'm guessing it's a combination of all these things that just kind of practical level of game design that you were talking about, the monetization level, that I was talking about, and combined with just the advent of online gameplay, which kind of plays into both of those, obviously, in terms of isolating players a little bit more, but also, linking direct online experience to having to pay.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd see all of those things playing into it. But it is just it's an interesting little, and we do it imperfectly, I'm sure, but just some little bit of time travel, looking into the eyes of a gamer that would have seen this as a complete and utter, masterpiece.
Right.
Kind of the pinnacle of what that game could be at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really cool. And I think, I don't know, I wonder if there's a lot to learn there from a developmental standpoint. Like, I wonder, like how a lot of times directors will show older films to their cast and crew before production starts to give a sense of what they're going for. Or a theme, or even just a feel to the film, kind of what to keep in mind in the back of their heads. I wonder if there'd be some goodness to that. I wonder how much that would translate, Like, how much I'm not being a developer.
Yeah. How much could you get away with?
How much could you learn, or how much could a modern FPS learn from going back and playing Perfect Dark, and then taking some of those lessons and applying it to a modern game?
Well,
Like, what would that game look? What would a modern version of this look like? You can't even imagine that, right? You just update the graphics.
yeah, graphics seem like the biggest thing where you're like, oh, I need to update the graphics, but like,
If you update the graphics and then add the Halo controls,
I think, it's an
Is
interesting
that
thought experiment.
satisfying?
Is that fun
yeah,
to do that?
I don't know.
So I think one of the things you need to focus on when you are going to have that sort of thought experiment is like, what was the experience that the developers wanted you to have originally, right? And like, it's on the N64, right, which is like the only console at that time that had 4 controllers without an expansion port. So
That's a
it's
good
going to
point.
be a lot
That's a
easier to
good
play
point.
with 4 people.
Yeah, that was a very communal system.
They clearly put a lot of time into the simulations, and like, you could have 4 sims and 4 people. You could have 8 people on a map, which is totally unheard of.
Yeah, it would have been insane, right?
Yeah, just total chaos. The levels are really small and cramped, so you're always running into people.
Yeah.
There's always something happening, and
It's like almost a party game.
Yeah,
by
it
design,
is. It
right?
plays a little like a party game. And so I think that you could make it happen with like update it. You could even maybe use network play, but I think you would have to keep a lot of that same philosophy. I would say that something like Team Fortress 2 would be the closest sort of spiritual successor to the way that this plays.
Yeah, I think that's why I kind of touched on Overwatch, where it feels more like a arcade. To compare it to Call of Duty or a modern shooter actually doesn't work in some ways, because really the core gameplay design doesn't hold. Like, there's no way, like we were talking about that precision, that the way that you act as a entity in those games is just kind of night and day different than the way you'd be approaching a game like this. That's just, like I said, faster paced, more cramped, kind of designed for really quick death and combat. Very not too arcadey, or very arcadey rather, and that kind of party element feels far more like Team Fortress or even Overwatch.
This is polar opposite, I will say, in terms of like the first-person shooter spectrum. Polar opposite of something like any battle royale game.
Yeah. In terms of
it's certainly PUBG. It's a little bit more like Fortnite, I would say, just because
Fortnite's more arcadey.
It's a little more arcadey, but yeah, something like PUBG is completely the opposite of this. It's very tactical, high stakes for death.
Yeah.
You try to kind of avoid people, and it's
Red Orchestra. You ever see that game? That was the sim. That is legitimately terrifying to play. Yeah, it is interesting that those. Well, it's also interesting to think of, like, I mean, this could be another cast or a thought, but to jump from just the modern, the evolution of the FPS. If a game, why FPSs didn't go the direction of why it didn't evolve naturally from a game like this into why aren't like Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch the mainstays of the genre, and then the Call of Duties and Halos are the kind of like secondary ones.
Sure.
That why didn't they switch spots if the top of the line shooters of this time had more in common actually with what we see as more niche now?
Yeah.
Why that didn't remain mainstream as things ramped?
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I think the
the thing
Halo
that comes to mind is Halo,
effect
right?
basically was
Like
that.
Blood Gulch was an incredibly popular level.
Yeah.
Think about how open it was,
Mhm.
right? Like there are smaller levels, but I just remember playing like 8-player Halo on Blood Gulch, and
Yeah.
that was a ton of fun. And something about being able to have that space was really significant. I mean, I need to reflect on it more to have a better answer to that.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of your answer there, is if you reflect on your experience with Halo 1 and just why it became popular to play larger levels.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe it was too much chaos and people wanted to kind of swung back the other way, to wanting to be able to
Could be.
plan out a location and snipe from a ridge or something.
Yeah. The whole idea. I remember I'm really trying to like put myself back in that place of playing Halo for the first time and why it was so mind blowing. Outside of the just how I remember literally you just kept on talking about how smooth it felt.
Mm-hmm.
The word smooth just kept on being thrown around, and I didn't have the words for why it felt smooth, but it did. But yeah, past that, was it the fact that there was so much more, tacticalness that could come into play in terms of you just had so much more control of what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You could be so much more specific about what and as we were playing here, despite the fact that there was a lot of movement and depth in terms of the different things you could do. In large part, it was like if I saw someone, I kind of point in that direction and pull the trigger.
Right.
I think the weapon design in Halo made a big difference too. Just the sheer the difference in the plasma weapons and the stickies and the difference between the Covenant and the having shields.
Yeah.
And the movement for sure.
Well, and so
having a floaty jump. I remember it feeling like it was just a new level of empowerment. Like when I get into it, like I was shocked I could do as many things as I could do. Getting to vehicles too was a huge thing. Kind of third person aspect there. But there's so many different ways to play, and it felt so much more open and free and slick. I don't know. It really did feel. It felt like a new dimension being opened up.
Well, think about like the weapons that you can use in Perfect Dark are mostly hit scan weapons, right?
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
There are a few projectile weapons.
The rocket launcher was projectile. It was clunky AF.
That's where the game falls down, right? Is anytime you have something that explodes or sort of acts as a physics object, right? It's great with hit scans because for computationally that's super easy.
Yeah, it's
that's just like check to see does this ray intersect this bounding box, and it's like boom, it did.
Yeah.
So when you move to something like Halo, where you can have something like the Needler. Right, where like there's all these projectile objects on the screen swarming after a moving target.
Yeah.
Right, like trying to do that on hardware like the N64 just would have been impossible.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool weapon.
Yeah.
And like even just like the delay from the sniper rifle, if you're a long distance, it doesn't really function like a hit scan. You have to lead your target slightly, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that was insane, especially on Blip. Yeah.
So, I think all those things do make it feel like a more tactical game. Than just sort of the arcadey, your reticle's going to lock onto your target, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and the quick kind of... and I recall Halo had a lockout on its respawn originally, too. Not long, like a 10-second thing. Mm-hmm. But as opposed to kind of the immediate just back in the grinder that Perfect Dark or GoldenEye would have had. That style type game, anyway. In terms of you just kind of death back. Getting killed in Halo had a little bit of weight to it. Which we've since moved away from, actually. Like, respawn are, like, the devil now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's actually literally instant now. If you die, you can just hit a button and you're immediately back.
Yep. Overwatch does that. I will say, actually, with...
Overwatch has some respawn.
Okay, well, that's been a minute since I played Overwatch.
Yeah.
But I will say that God of War does do sort of a snap to aiming thing, like the PS4 one does. There's actually there's a attack assist where you will like move your character slightly toward the target. If you swing and you're too far away to hit it, you'll be
lunge
assisted.
a bit.
Yeah, you'll lunge a bit. And so that's sort of the action game axe equivalent to this reticle auto aiming. That we see.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And it has the same effect, I would say, as like it makes you think less technically about what you're doing. Because like the odds are you're going to hit your target because the game's going to help you with the target.
Yeah.
So you really don't have to think super hard about like how you're aiming and...
It's really more just positional, just making sure you get the drop on someone or being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
What? I'm trying to think of the other auto aim assist. Oh, Battlefront. Battlefront 2, and the original ones, not the EA most recent ones. The original ones have an interesting kind of auto-aim lock-on feature that once you hit something once or twice, it'll lock onto that target and make it like a sticky reticule to their center.
Interesting.
So even if you move a little bit or miss a little bit, it'll kind of auto-correct, which actually is really difficult for sniping, mostly. You actually need a free reticule for that in terms of being able to lead a little bit. And you can imagine that would really mess it up. Or just anything that interacts with really precise aiming.
Right.
That makes it a lot harder to get headshots and stuff. But in any case, I was just thinking in terms of why an auto-aim is so much more significant in a game like that. I think it's mostly just the lack of precision and the lack of... I think another problem, too, a little bit, is I'm trying to think even just in terms of 3 dimensions, as we talked about, with the kind of bullet hallway that they can turn into if it's a lot less... you have a lot less freedom of movement of your reticle. That is just harder to gauge depth. It's harder to gauge kind of motion and where you are with flatter textures and less lighting back in the day. So it's a little bit more difficult to get a sense of how your angles are kind of interacting with things as opposed to modern day physics and games. It makes it a lot less precise.
Yeah, and you're right, you can't do scale, really. You can't do distance that way.
Yeah.
All the hallways being very closed in Perfect Dark is very intentional, so that you're constantly, the game's only having to render a few polygons.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not going to be able to see anywhere close to the scale of something like the Blood Gulch, where you could snipe someone from across the map. The biggest room that we saw was that 4-tower room in Area 52.
Yeah. That was interesting. And so that was an interesting thing, too, because, like, I think part of this is just skill in terms of my inability to really firefight, but, like, most of those engagements came down to, like, people would die when they left the hallway. Like, there was very little open gunplay, like, in the area. Like, the really frantic, like, gunplay that can happen in Halo.
Right.
In open, where you're all, like, jumping around, and lethality is rather low when you have shields, and kind of the better player will come out on top. Like, when you entered the area, you probably were going to die pretty quick in Perfect Dark. The game really isn't designed for big, huge open conflicts like that.
Yeah. Because then aiming and sort of, I guess gunplay becomes a lot more important instead of just like, point your gun down this hallway and fire.
Yeah, I mean,
if someone's in the hallway, they'll die.
Yeah. In a similar way, to an extent, to Call of Duty. But you can't have big open maps in Call of Duty. They act differently. You have more options with how to interact with them than you do in the Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what Perfect Dark refers to.
Well, that'll just have to remain a mystery for you and for our listeners.
In some ways,
it's lost to time.
It is.
We'll never know.
Perfectly
dark. And that's a great place to end.
To me. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys for listening, checking us out.
More fun than expected.
More fun than
more unexpectedly
fun.
Less than I was thinking it might be.
We're gonna shut this off. Have a good night, guys.
Peace.